Okay, still playing the Stonewall scenario, or game, its own little game. And the Confederates have taken their complete turn, actually. They were so pinned and trapped down that they really couldn't even disengage the way I wanted to. So they've kind of been stuck in place, taking fire. They wanted... there's actually... I didn't get a shot off there that I should have. I'll just roll that quickly. Not much chance of doing much. They took some more casualties. Garnett's brigade's beginning to look bad. The Cav tried to pull out and were completely finished off. Ashby is running off on his own. He's just going to try to withdraw from the map as best he can. And it really doesn't look good at all. The Union's got another 10 points, so they're getting a chance to move something. I don't know what they want to move. They probably want to move Tyler, put him into position to help keep pinning the Confederates, as well as to hit this 3rd Brigade that's marching up in column. It's like the Confederates, I don't know, just can't seem to do anything right in this battle with me running them. All right, let's see. Net effect at the end of the turn, the Union was able to move into those guns that were here. They can't get away. Into the pinned units here, similarly. This weak unit ran away. It's running out of space to run to. It's got a river here that's in its way. It's really beginning to look like the Confederates are pretty much destroyed. And here we move into 4:20 in the afternoon. And it'll be their turn again. And numbers just keep making things worse and worse. The Confederates don't really have the strength to push through anywhere. They can't get away with without getting shot up. So they're standing here trying to position, putting some cannons down, trying to get some kind of defensive position. But it looks like they're just going to dissolve completely. One thought I had was, look, the Union are down to about 31. Well, they're down to 31 morale points. If I can get them down. Well, no, not exactly, because they get 10 more each turn. So as long as I don't do anything with the Union, it's no big deal. And the Union's actually not in a bad shape to just stand and trade shots at this point, and thereby increment their morale points. On the other hand, they could attack. It doesn't make much difference. They're good at anything. They're going to get their points now. I may activate the 1st Brigade because it looks to me like that's the next thing which can really crack things. But to me, it looks like the Confederates are just wiped off the board here pretty soon. Okay, well, here we are at the end of the turn. And the Union continues to push forward. See, they've wiped out almost everything down here. They've pushed these back using some bayonet charges to just get forward. Really, I don't see anything. I mean, the Confederates just want to get off the map. They want to survive. They don't know how to. They want to get away from all these Union forces. Now, if they can cut around, they can at least save some respect. We'll see how that works. But it's really been tough to get disengaged, actually. And with pinned units, it's really tough because you're leaving them behind, and then they're going to just get wiped out. All right. Well, the Confederates abandoned these pinned guns. Probably extract some kind of toll on any attempt, and are pulling back, trying to come back through the Sandy Ridge area and get off map somehow. Meanwhile, they're pulling people like Ashby and Sullivan, etc. off board. Really, all they have left is some straggling remnant of Garnett and Fulkerson's brigade, which is still in pretty good shape. And Tyler's forces moved for the Union. He had troops sort of wandering out of command, so he got some of them back in command but drove some others out. He did manage to grab that cannon and is really kind of the only pursuing force for the Confederates. Now, Garnett's troops are useless. It doesn't matter what I do with them in terms of getting them off the map. I just have to get them out of combat. Fulkerson's can actually score points if I send them north. I'm not sure how much sense that makes. It's not like there's any threat that's going to be made by one little tiny brigade. The big key was that if you get everything off, it's kind of a big deal. Well, in this case, that's not really the issue. Anyway, this is pretty much over, but might as well see it through to the bloody end. Actually, the hell with that. The Confederates are pulling out. I mean, I can't see trying to get that 10 extra points or whatever it is from what's left of Fulkerson. What is it? 1 strength point here. I'm sorry, 15 extra points plus the artillery. that could be gathered. So let's take a look at what the board points are, because the other thing that's going to happen is this playing out 10 points per turn for each of these. So let's just take a quick look at what sort of the picture is in terms of the victory points that are scored so far. All right, well, casualty points. Let's try to add them up here. And I'll keep a kind of a running total somewhere. So for the U.S. troops that have been killed, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That looks like it. 10 guys dead for the Union, and they're all actually just dead, so they're only worth a point each. So that's 10 Confederate points. Now remember, if I had tried to sneak off the map, we would be looking at what, 4? Yeah, this one. Yeah, 4, 7, 35 points. Okay. Let's look at what the Confederates have lost. 1, 2. Those are captured. They count as double each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I think we wiped them out. 29. 30. Okay. Essentially 30 points worth of infantry. Alright, it doesn't look so terrible. Captured stuff. Captured guns. Well, first the Cav, they're worth 3 points each. That's 9 more. Okay, well, it's looking like, you know, the Confederates can't win no matter what. Well, let's keep looking. We also have 12 captured guns. I don't know how much those suckers are worth. They look like they're 2 each. That's 24 more. And let's see, anything else here? Brigade combat effectiveness. That's 60, 70, 80 more points. Uh-oh. That's beginning to look a little obscene. And on top of that, anything else? Yes. We've got these points, which is 40 here plus whatever might be gained. And, you know, let's say I let the Confederates off. Right here's the break-even point. When I hit these 2 turns, I'm making points letting them off. So the points I have now are easily indicative of what would happen even if I let Fulkerson just leave, which may or may not happen. 104, 113, so 124 point difference. And when we go over here, well, 60 or more is a decisive victory. All right, well, then they've got a special, hey, what the hell happens in the Valley campaign based on this? Not in the Valley, in the James River campaign. Well, let's see. This is some silly little roll. Okay, so it's a Union decisive victory. We subtract 3 from a die roll on this little table. And we get a Union strategic victory as well. No additional troops sent to the Valley. McClellan's position is unimpeded. Operation is unimpeded. Which we could use to fuel the 7 days battles, right? I don't know. All right, anyway. It's a quick feel for this one. I think I've done enough on this that I am going to want to come back and do a full review on it. Let's talk about this particular battle and what I did so horribly. First of all, trying to take advantage of the Confederate mobility by swinging back and forth just ended up getting them trapped in a box. And we saw that happen. Trying to be gamey and cute with this. Truth of the matter is, you really have 2 options. Try to go around and get your troops off the map, which I don't think the Confederates can win if they get off the map in and of itself. They have to beat one of these brigades, I think. And, okay, so why pay attention to them? You know, use Tyler, defend these hills, whatever, and collect up your points over there. We could count that up and see what that works out as. Let's say nothing happened, right? Let's say nothing happened, and you withdrew every Confederate unit off the board. Well, how many Confederate strength points are there? I don't know. We counted a lot. We had like 30 in casualties, right? Well, let's say those are all getting off the map. That's 150 points. That's a lot. Plus 3 cav, 15 more. So we're looking at quite a big pile of points here. 165 points. What are we looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 150 points. You start with 30. It sounds like a Union victory to me. 180 points, right? That you didn't have to use at all, minus around 150, 165. So you're going to get a marginal victory if you, as the Union, if you just let the Confederates walk off the map. Okay, so that is not the optimal strategy for the Confederates. They have to fight somewhere. Where do they choose to fight? Well, I guess the only place they can really choose that's of value is to attack Tyler while he's in reserve. Force him out of reserve, force those points back, and then if that's going to be the operation, if you're afraid of that, maybe you do have to bring him down and fight over here. Fighting over here, probably a bad idea. We saw essentially what would have happened. If I hadn't shifted, it would maybe have not been quite as bad, but Kimball could still come down and catch you in a trap against the hog run and fight you there. And you're not going to fight your way out of it. I don't think the Confederates can win that battle. So the historical operation is really probably the best, with the only thought that if you attack Tyler, you might be able to pull off a victory if you're left alone. You can't pull it off just by withdrawing from the map. And that's kind of an interesting thing. That's the calculation that I always made and said, I don't know, I think I want to go for the battle. Well, the battle doesn't work. The only thing that works is for the Union to attack you, to fight you. And how much of a threat are you really putting on the Union by skirting around? Well, at the very least, skirting around this side of Pritchard's Hill can force the Union to burn points over here, which can be kind of useful no matter what. If you can't trigger Tyler to come on the board, well, at least you can make Kimball move around a little bit. Anyway, we saw what happened when you play this poorly, and Stonewall Jackson, I obviously am not. I'm going to load this up and come back for a review.